ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So today's video is winter bass fishing the California Delta, and it's a risky one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a risky one. This time of year, I don't think it's any secret, the Delta is pretty tough, at least for black bass. A lot of folks, including myself, kind of shy away from the Delta this time of year. You know, we got Clear Lake, Berryessa, the Motherlode Lakes. A lot of options other than the Delta where the bite is a lot better. I've been in California about 5 years now, and up until last year, I would avoid the Delta in the winter. Last year, we ventured out, we had a little bit of success, caught some fish, gained some confidence, and that's really what it's about. At least for me, challenging yourself, trying to improve your game. And one thing I definitely want to improve on is fishing the Delta in the winter time. Have a little confidence now after catching some fish last year. I've got some baits tied on. I got 5 rods today right next to me with baits that I think may work. Starting 5 lineup today, we got the jig, we've got a flat-sided crankbait, an A-rig, and an underspin. Of course, we've got some other stuff to change out if we need to. So yeah, gonna load up the kayak, bring it down to the water, put a full day's work out on the Delta in the winter time. Wish me luck. Alrighty guys, here we are on the water, starting out at a low tide, an incoming tide though. Tide is coming in, water is rising. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention a bait that we have tied on. It's the probably the most obvious one, but it's a finesse setup. It's a drop shot, so forgot to mention that one. I know you can't tell, but it's pretty shallow. We're in like a foot of water right here, so we're gonna see if we can get out towards the main channel, a little deeper water, and we shall begin our day. Well, let's tell you what, start a little moving bait. We'll start underspin on this low tide. Something just busted right there. That's a good sign. There's at least one fish back here. Let's go to the big fella. Fresh A-rig. That's a good sign. I could see that otter has got a big old shad in its mouth. Good, there's definitely bait back here, so I think I'm on the right track. Throwing bait imitating presentations. Forgot to do something. We are for sure going for the black bass, but just in case there's some stripies in the area, a little chartreuse will not hurt our cause. Dip that middle one in there. Good, good. There we go, that gives it a little pop. I just got bit. Yeah, that's a good sign, we just got bit. I think they hit the teaser though. There we go, that was definitely a bite. I'm getting bit, folks. I don't know if they're little bass or what. Little striper. I goofed my rig up right there, though. Interesting. It's a positive sign. Just gotta figure out what they are. They might be little somethings. I'm intrigued right now, and my heart's racing because we're on some kind of fish right here. Just don't know what we're dealing with. The only thing I'm a little nervous about could be bumping into carp. There we go. Got him. Yes. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, it's a striper. Well, it's a bite. I can't complain. Man, I thought it was a largemouth. Oh, yeah. Which bait it ate, too. It ate the chartreuse one. Figured just in case there was some striper around, we couldn't go wrong with a little chartreuse. Well, no skunk. That's the beauty of winter delta bass fishing, is if the bass fishing is slow, there's always a chance the striper will eat. I'm certainly not going to complain. This is a part of the delta I have never fished before, this section at least. You know, I'm going completely blind here, exploring new water. It is crazy shallow back here. I know you guys can't see, but like this little section of the river couldn't be more than 4 or 5 feet deep. I'm seeing the tops of grass right here, right in the middle. I think the largemouth would be back here. I hate to cut you off already. I mean, we'll revisit you. Don't you worry. But part of the river is choked up with grass. It's shallow. Tide is still pretty low, even though it's incoming. This A-rig's just getting fouled up just a tad too much for my liking. We're gonna switch to a swim jig. Mix it up on them a little bit. Should come through that grass a little bit better too. Not too shabby looking, right? I don't know how much further I want to venture back here, though. Those otters keep going further back into this creek or whatever, but I don't see any deeper holes. Seems to just be getting shallower and shallower, and though there might be bait back here, I'm not sure if any bass or striper would want to be back here this time of year. Being silly, forgetting one of the most crucial pieces of the puzzle. Oh crap. Oh, my hands are chartreuse now. Stuff leaked. What the heck? Oh man, that stuff really works, I guess. Yeah, whatever. This is coming through this grass like a dream, but you just might not hone in on a swim jig like they are an A-rig. Dude, I got bit again. This is the same spot I was getting bit, we'll say, earlier. I mean, here's the problem. None of my baits are messed up. I'm getting a little bit of a suspicion I'm just bumping into carp or something. Crankbait. I think I got my tides wrong too. I thought we were starting on a low, but I think it's just a low high today, meaning that tide was pretty low, but it was the high tide of the day, because it looks like the water's actually dropping out now more. It's kind of weird. Look at that. First couple of casts. Oh, there's a largemouth. There. Dude, came through here with a rig. Been fishing a bunch of stuff. That was like the third cast with the crankbait. And we had a largemouth on. It was a nice little 2-pounder too. I bet you that means something, guys. These fish are so particular this time of year. You go over a freaking mother load of fish, and if you don't have the right bait, and if you're not working it the exact way they want it, you're just gonna miss them. There we go. Oh God! Whoa! What is that? That's not a bass, is it? No net. I don't think it's a bass. Oh, is this a steelhead? The other one we had was a bass. Nice little trout. Yeah, look at this guy. Look at that guy. All right. Well, man, pretty fish. Very pretty fish. Yeah, I guess they all want the crankbait today. Okay, striper, trout. We had a bass on. I saw the bass. It was definitely a bass. This is a weird day on the Delta for me. I've never caught a trout on the Delta. That is very strange. There we go. Either had to be more bass. I got the little bass. Neither had to be more. Dude, that's the thing. They're just swiping at it too. That was the first one we caught. Had just a back hook in them. Alright, here's the bass. Cool. It's literally the same spot we got that first bite. So like I said, I'm definitely still very much a newbie as far as winter Delta fishing. But last year, I do remember having some success on this exact crankbait, flat-sided crankbait, when I found some grass, kind of slowly ticking the tops of it. And that's why we brought it. Got him. Just a giant, folks. Giant. But another bite. It's so funny. Well, it's actually not funny, but it's cool. I'll say this, they're not eating this bait good. I mean, I'm going as slow as I can with this thing, and all three bass that I've hooked have been outside the mouth. Or the first one was just hooked on the back treble, and they're not crushing this thing. They're just taking a nip at it. Keep her moving. Cheater jig 2.0 is what we're calling this one. Got one, finally. Oh my goodness, had to go a little deeper. Hello, sir. Alrighty. Dude, I knew this jig was too delicious looking for them to pass up. Alrighty. That tree right there, that calf. I don't know if this is true for this tree, but I've done it in the past. Usually when you see a tree like this far overhanging, you gotta imagine over time branches have fallen and create a little brush pile underneath there. And I don't know if there was one right there, but that's where we made the cast. And that's where we got bit. Cheater jig 2.0. So that was the first cast we kind of made out towards deeper water or deeper part of the channel. I wonder if that's where they're sitting or if that was just a random fish. Might do a little lunch break. I always got to pack a little lunch for these winter days on the Delta. I'll show you guys a real simple kayak friendly lunch. Some of you guys might think this is gross, but that's actually not that bad. Yellowfin tuna, a little lunch in a can. pop your lid. This is the key part right here though. Frank's Red Hot. That's what's gonna make it taste a lot better. Man, sloppy today. Getting chartreuse on me and hot sauce. Jeez. Little pepper packet too would help, but I'm telling you, quick, easy lunch, a can of tuna. There we go. Lunch is over. That's the good thing about that kind of lunch is it's easy to eat. It's quick, high in protein. It's going to keep you full. You can get back to what you're here for, which is the fishing, not eating. Wow. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Well, that is number 5. Bass, that is. Hi. We are going to try I think that'll work actually. Just don't want the bait to be too small, but I think that'll actually be okay. Little turd. Obviously we're catching some spots, so maybe get a few more bites with the turd. Oh, there's a bite. Oh my god, no, we got stuck in a tree. He's still on, I think. He's on. Gotta get him out though. I think he came off, crap. Man, I finally got bit on the Ned. Of course. Oh, darn. I hate it when that happens. Alrighty, folks. That is going to do it for today's day out on the water. Winter bass fishing on the California Delta. Just to recap the day, we started out with 5 rods that we mentioned. Like I've said before, really any time of year, but it's definitely more important this time of year. Trying different baits, mixing it up, trying different places, locations, tides, just mixing as many variables up as you can and seeing if anything sticks. We started out throwing an A-rig. Thought that would be our best chance of getting some bites, and we got some bites. They were just missing it or short striking it, or maybe I was bumping into carp, not sure, but we kept throwing it, and ended up getting bit. Caught a, I don't know, 18, 19 inch striper, which I will certainly take. So we kept throwing it, changed over, went through basically all of our baits until we finally went to our 5th, which was a flat-sided crankbait. The only reason we took it out was because we saw some grass that was subsurface, maybe about a foot or two, and I remember last year a pattern that we had was ticking the grass with a flat-sided crankbait. 3rd cast, we got bit, lost it right at the boat. It's like, all right, that's a good sign. Then we caught a trout of all things on the crankbait, so that was kind of strange and definitely a first for me out on the Delta. But then we caught a few more. Got a few more bites. Caught a couple of smaller bass on it. Thought that was a little bit of a pattern. It definitely wasn't an epic bite. It's not like they were smashing that thing. They were barely hooking onto that bait, and you had to really creep that bait slowly. I covered some more water. Kept cycling and cycling through baits. Found some really good looking water, and you know, we tried the stuff that should work, the textbook stuff, and we did catch one on the jig, but that was our only jig bite. Got bit once on the Ned, but those fish were just really picky. Flat-sided crankbait was the deal today, the pattern, at least for me. Very weak pattern, but that's how it goes out here sometimes, you know, especially in these cooler months, these tougher months. These fish can be really picky, really specific, and you could go over an entire area that's loaded with fish and miss them completely if you don't have the right bait, and even if you do have the right bait, if you're not presenting it right. So I'm glad one of our bait choices today at least got us some bites. Bites this time of year, we will take them any day of the week. Glad it wasn't a skunk day. Not a great day, but a day I will certainly take during a tough time of year. That's the video for today. As always, thank you guys for coming along, for watching today's adventure, and I will see you guys in the next video.